What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 10 and the season finale of season 2 of Frieren. We're going to be talking full spoilers ahead, so hopefully you've had a chance to watch this episode and watch this season, because we're going to be doing a review for the episode and for the whole season here. We'll do a real quick recap. Frieren and friends have to cross a canyon. As they're trying to find a way across, they find a bridge that has been constructed for over 200 years. There's a whole backstory with Himmel funding it to help this dwarf who was working on it at the time, because a village got attacked and destroyed, and people weren't able to go over there and save them. So he wanted to make sure that never happened again. Jump forward to the present day, and the bridge is built, and it's constructed well, but there are birds that are harassing people and attacking people and stuff. So they go on a mission, of course, to take out the birds in exchange for a spell that allows you to flip pancakes perfectly. They complete the mission, of course, and then end up going and celebrating at the town that was originally destroyed, seeing that it's rebuilt, basically. Second part of the episode is they need money to continue their journey, so they take on a mission from, what is that place? Like a mercenary camp to clear out some, well, at first seemingly one giant wolf monster from Monster Hunter / Elden Ring, and then it ends up being a bunch of them, and put a
anti-personnel barrier
around the area. They end up taking out the first wolf, but there's a bunch of wolves, and then they get backed up by those were the mercenaries, right?
Yeah, from the place where Frieren got put in jail.
Oh yeah. And then that was because they wanted them to put the protective barrier because
the guy who hired him wanted to preserve his homeland, basically.
Okay.
The same way like we protect national parks here in the States.
Yeah. So they do that, and then anything else happened before the end part?
I mean, those are all the major beats. There's obviously a bunch of little stuff.
Of course. And then we get left with a cliffhanger of, what's his name? Dankin, who's taking on a mission to take out Mocked, the Golden Land guy. I don't know what the hell. He's some fucking demon guy. But he's going to go after that dude, and the people with him. They transferred his memories or something? What was going on there?
So, because he's a Class A or whatever, Siri gets to tell him what to do. So he gets his mission, and to help him with that mission, her like number one guy, and I can't remember her name, but she's the one who's really good at mental stuff from the last thing. She transferred information he was going to need on his mission, basically, to him.
Okay.
And it's easier than communicating it because she can just give memories.
So basically just briefing him on his mission.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then they said that he's like going to go die, or he wants to die.
She because she was connected to him mentally, realized that he's just, he's going to go off and die, basically,
on a suicide mission.
So and told him to give up on visiting the grave, which is the whole reason he became an A rank. So, or not an A rank, or whatever. He passed that exam.
So we're left off there, and then it was confirmed that we are getting a season 3 next year, right?
Yep. With that demon Mocked on the cover of the art.
Yeah. So that will be a whole arc, which was interesting to find out, because we were both kind of bummed that we weren't going to get another season, and that there wasn't enough manga to make another season. But apparently they have figured it out. So we are going to get that, and you're excited. I'm excited. Oh, yeah. Likely. So that's good news. With all that, thoughts on this episode?
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice send off for the show. We got 2 small adventures, both full of lessons, as the show likes to do. I like the to start with the dwarf who made the bridge. The whole reason he made it originally was because of the devastation, but then he completed it due to what originally was going to be charity, but turned into if you need a reward, the bridge is the reward, and then my teammate who will still be alive will be able to use it whenever she wants, basically. Mm-hmm. So that way he didn't have to feel guilty about taking a sack of money. There's just a cool little like montage of him like over the 200 years, doing it by himself at first, and then people coming and eventually becoming his new townsfolk and stuff. So that was pretty cool. The scene with all the birds was fun, though. Poor Stark trying to fight some flying stuff on a cliff is not a good spot for him, for sure. True. So he just played shield, which he got to do once during the fighting, but it was basically them just machine gunning down a bunch of
Oh yeah,
birds.
no, they just unloaded on them.
So, which has become a lot of the mass monster massacring now has been just the two of them machine gunning everything down, which makes sense.
Except for the space laser that Fern's doing now.
Yeah, and then in the next part, Adam Money, pouty Fern face, adorableness, and then off to the camp for the grand scheme of making some money. It was kind of cool to see that basically it kind of is like the gold rush, type of thing, where it's just, a bunch of people there to mine and make money, and then super inflated prices because they know the people there who are successful will have money. So that was interesting. The giant dog, which does remind me of a video game boss for sure. I was really kind of brought to like the dog that you fight inside the church, not the church, the school in Elden Ring, and then of course the one out in the graveyard as well. But it was kind of neat because it was like something that was mana sensitive, which we've seen before, except for the last big one that I could remember was that tiny little bird that I did catch for that exam. That was sensitive to mana. But so they couldn't shoot it, which was kind of cool because like our OP people, had to get creative, and then it was also fast. So Stark was probably not going to win in a long-term battle. He'd probably run out of energy first. So
they got a little creative though. They put that spell in its mouth at one point.
Well, yeah, I went to like bite down on Stark, and then I assume Frieren put a bubble around him, and that was just like a really cool little detail. And then he just basically did a little uppercut to get out of there with his axe. So that was a lot of fun. But then just seeing Fern fly up as high as she could get and basically become a satellite laser as she just sat there and charged and charged and charged, and then this massive laser. Again, too far for mana detection. So we really played with that, though. I like the idea that she didn't just like shoot one off. She was just like, I'm just going to cover the whole area, then it can't dodge, type of thing. So pretty cool. Also, really, really leaning into the fact that Fern is a very competent mage. So as much as she doesn't believe herself.
Next time they have to fight a crowd of people, she needs to do that and just drag it across them.
Right. That'll be the next level of that.
Easy peasy.
And then, the preview for the next season, which I'm excited. I'm not excited to wait as long as we have to, but this is one of those shows I want them to have enough stuff to like not have weird pacing and have the time to like make it like gorgeous and stuff. So I'm willing to wait. So
yeah, I want to wait because I don't want season 3 to like be bad.
Yeah,
because that would really suck because the trajectory's been great so far. This season, last season. Yeah, it would really suck if they were just trying to find a way to make another season and they like rushed it, or they didn't have like the story to build off of, and they did something sloppy.
Yeah, and I also just really appreciate that. And I kind of have said this before, but like they are really good about characters especially a lot of the people we met during the mage exam, because there aren't technically a lot of mages, and most of them work for Sari. So
yeah,
getting to
I've actually
see
been
them
surprised.
missions.
I've been surprised we see them so often.
Yeah. Well, and they're not like directly connected, but Frieren stuff is part of the big picture of getting rid of the demons, right? Because Siri's all about war, basically. So, super looking forward to that. Also, Denkin was just like a really cool character in the first season, and I'm like so looking forward to just seeing more of him going forward. So,
yeah, throughout the season we've been seeing like little clips of him, and I'm like, so what's he up to? But now we know. So, yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
Yeah, I really liked this episode. I thought it was a really good send-off for the season. It didn't have any huge big thing that happened. That I was saying as we were watching the end of it, that if they were not able to get season 3 going anytime soon, this would have been a really good way, even though it sucked to still wait for a new season, it'd be a really good way to end a 2-season run in a way that doesn't have people going like, well, they left us here. Like now, what are it's not a berserk situation where you just end it for 16 years, wherever the hell, and then at the worst part possible. So I was like, this is a good send off because there's no huge major cliffhanger, and it's plenty of time to wait. But now we get a new season in a year, so that works out. But yeah, the episode was fun. Definitely got more of what we expect from the show. They go on a mission. Did she get a spell for it was just money? for the second mission.
Yeah, it was a sack of money that she spent half of.
Yeah, and Frieren had to hide the other half and was praised for doing that from the person she hid it from, which is just ridiculous. And she took she was happy about the praise, so which is funny. Yeah, I really enjoyed the story behind the bridge, though. There's a lot of like heart behind that, in the sense that, you know, feeling like he could have done something, or something could have been done but wasn't done. Looking forward in the future, making sure it never happens again, and then basically Himmel investing in that. I know he's like weird about taking the money, but instantly I'm like, he's investing in this bridge because it's infrastructure which will help people in the future. Yeah. So, which was cool. And I thought, you know, the whole story behind that was cool. Also, the villagers or whatever coming to help with the group project that, you know, helps everybody. So definitely a good little moral story there. Just eviscerating the birds. It has become kind of like, unless they're fighting something that's, you know, 4-armed snake dude with swords, they do just kind of go in blasting now. So, which is fine. We don't have to spend a bunch of time there, but we still get some cool sequences of, you know, the action that's fun to watch. Jumping forward to the second part, though, they needed money, so, you know, there's nothing really impactful there. But, you know, the fight itself when they fought the wolves, or the wolf, was cool. It was nice to see something that could, you know, maneuver out of the way of what happened to the birds earlier. So they just go and just blasting there too, and they're getting ready to do that with the rest of the pack when they showed up. But I knew that wasn't going to turn into something, though, just because we're running out of time in the episode, and they're like, yeah, we're going to have to fight our way out. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? And a bunch of dudes and horses came through and just ran through all the wolves. So that was cool. And then, yeah, the sentimentality of them, you know, seeing the view, and there's that flashback of them with Himmel and talking about how they want to make sure people could see that in the future.
It was, yeah, he kind of like saw beauty in nature and went, this alone is worth us going to defeat the Demon King, so that people can come and see this kind of stuff in the future.
Yeah.
So,
which, I'm not fighting Demon Kings, but when I go on hikes, I always appreciate the view. So,
right.
So I get it. So yeah, that was cool. And then the end, I'm definitely curious to see where that's going, especially because, like I said, we've been seeing Dankin throughout the season a little bit here and there, and I want to know what his mission, or how his mission's going to go, and how well he's going to fare, and how that will affect our, you know, main characters. But definitely curious to see that, and also curious about next season, in the sense that, is the whole season just going to be like a major arc with that demon guy as like a theme throughout the whole season, or is it going to be like, you know, first 4 episodes and then I don't know. But
yeah.
And if you do, don't tell us. No spoilers, please. I don't know how much story is left on the manga, but
I don't know how much of that they could be currently being written. So.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it could be one of those situations like, and I hope they don't do this, but when Game of Thrones is being filmed alongside, you know, the books existing already, and then they were getting ideas from what's his face about where he was going to take things, and then they kind of did their own thing eventually, and so that kind of sucks, because then you get, you know, even though I didn't think the last season of Game of Thrones was as horrible as a lot of people say, wasn't great, but, you know, it definitely went a direction that was not satisfying for what they did before. Yeah. I would hate to see something like that in, you know, this, where they're right alongside the manga's progression. So, but I wonder if they are talking with the people who, or the person who makes the manga.
Oh, I assume so.
And getting ideas of what they could do in the next season. So, yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, overall, really good episode, really good send off. Had all the major beats I'm looking for in a Frieren episode, and I can't wait for the next season. So, yeah, it was good episode, good season. And then overall, this season 2, was really good. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I have any. Was there one episode that was off? I don't remember one, but I feel like there was. Maybe I'm thinking of JJK.
Yeah, I don't think there was.
I don't think there was either. Yeah, the whole season was solid. So, across the board, I really enjoyed it. And had really great action sequences. I think better than the first season, which you would expect, because the characters have gotten stronger. But the animation also has been really great in those sequences as well. And then the progression of our characters. One of my favorite episodes of the season was probably the awkward date between Stark and Fern, because that was just weird to watch, but fun.
Also, speaking of those two, we didn't even mention it. Towards the end of the episode, they were having like a little bit of a heart-to-heart reminiscing of their past and stuff like that, which was really nice. But they did a fun thing there where, Fern asked, why she, encourages Stark the way she does, and instead of the typical, well, that's what Himmel would do, she said that's what Frieren would do. So it was kind of a fun little twist on that. So,
which kind of just goes with the whole evolution of the show, with the months and years passing and stuff,
and like the next generation of adventurers.
Yeah,
and stuff,
it's cool to see kind of things slowly, meticulously changing over time. So yeah. So what was I saying? That was a good point though. I completely forgot to even bring that up. But yeah, season was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think I would give it a light A. Just because I don't really have any complaints about it. I was thoroughly enjoying it the whole time. The humor's good, the action's good, the characters are good. I really enjoy the world. I love the subtle simplicity to just the living in the world aspect of the show. I mean, of course, we get big arcs that are fun and there's something to invest in, but I do just kind of like vibing with the show and existing with it. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a light A.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to give it an extremely biased A+. Everything about the show really kind of resonates with me. So I love the pacing. I love the atmosphere the show provides, the scenery. Like we get to stop and absorb a scene for a moment, which a lot of shows just don't do. The music's fantastic. The characters are all interesting.
The music is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the vibe of the show is fantastic. I could sit there and watch them go on an adventure all the time. So yeah, I love it to death. So
yeah, I'm trying to think if I have any complaints about the show at all, and I don't think I do at all. But I think maybe one thing in season 2 that we did start seeing pretty often was just kind of and it makes sense because you don't want to have the same situation over and over and over again and having to animate the whole thing. But they are just kind of coming in and just blasting people now and getting the job done. And they don't spend a lot of time in it, so it kind of makes sense to just kind of get going. But
a lot of the lesser fights,
yeah. But when we get the big fight scenes, they're still fantastic. So and there was 2 major fight scenes in the first season that I thought were really good. And this season had a couple that were really good, but not as memorable to me as those. Especially the one where she fought the other mage chick outside the castle. Who I don't remember her name.
Oh, you're talking about Aura?
I don't remember the name
in the first season. Yeah, with the judge scales.
Yeah.
That's Aura.
Yeah. I still think about that fight.
Oh, dude, that one was awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, not really a complaint, just kind of an observation. But this whole season was just completely solid. So yeah, A+. We really liked it. Looking forward to season 3. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about this episode. Favorite parts, least favorite parts, if you have any. Anything in this episode that happened that you want to talk about that we didn't talk about, let us know. And where do you think things are going? Unless you know, please don't tell us. And are you excited for season 3? We're getting it sooner than we thought, and that's awesome. And recommendations. If you have anything for us to watch, let us know. We are finally free of Frieren and JJK. If you wanted to watch our reviews of JJK, they're available as well. We did episodic reviews. We did a season review just now, or a couple days ago. Watch that if you want to see what we thought of that season. And then we are going to start watching Hell's Paradise Season 2, and we are already watching Trigun, and then we have a couple others in mind. So if you have something you'd like us to watch, it doesn't have to be anime, movie, TV, whatever. We'll take it into consideration. We have a little more free time now, so let us know. And yeah, I think it's going to do it. I've been Seth. This has been Chevy, and we'll talk to you guys later.